Dragon Ball Super seems to be getting more and more interesting by the week as we collide with evil copy Vegeta alongside gathering an understanding as to what happened during last week's episode with Vegeta having his powers drained and now used against him in battle. Goku is back and he seems to be functioning properly this time around. Welcome Dragon Ball fans to my Dragon Ball Super episode 45 review entitled Vegeta Disappears, the Menace of Copy Vegeta, leading into next week's episode of episode 46, which is going to become more interesting as we carry on forward. Now, before I go any further in this review, guys, a fair warning that this video will contain lots of spoilers, so if you don't want anything ruined for you, simply fast forward the video, go watch the episode for yourself, and come back so we can talk more Dragon Ball Super. Don't cry in the comments about being spoiled by the thumbnail or by what's being said, because nothing is being said or shown that you guys don't already know. The translations to this episode, in case you guys are wondering how I was able to pick up on the dialogue prior to the subs coming out, was translated by none other than Herms98 on Twitter. As always, he provides us with the translations first, so thank you, sir, so much for that. The subs will be out later on today. Kiss Anime, AnimeRush.tv, watch it and enjoy. All in all, this was the better episode in my opinion out of the 2 weeks of Dragon Ball thus far. The slice of life episode with Pan was cute and all. Last week's episode was fairly intriguing, and this week's episode was very good. Now, there are tons of references to copy Vegeta with fans saying, oh, they're just copying and pasting what GT did with Baby. Actually, that is not the case at all, because what they did with Baby Vegeta in Dragon Ball GT and what they're doing with copy Vegeta in Dragon Ball Super are two very completely different things. But all in all, to summarize this very briefly, and be sure to tune into my breakdown review coming in about an hour or so where I'll explain more of that alongside your comments as to what you guys post in this video. But this was a very intriguing episode, and what I mean by that is, I wasn't going crazy over what I saw, but I was relatively disappointed on having Goku try to come about and just save the day. It was really interesting to see the way copy Vegeta was portrayed in this episode, because he looked very similar to Dragon Ball Xenoverse's Demigod-controlled Vegeta, which looked very, very interesting because he looked very similar to Dark Vegeta from Dragon Ball Xenoverse. But I'm just saying, it may be a coincidence, it may not be, who knows. But nevertheless, we get to see an interesting confrontation between the original Vegeta and copy Vegeta as the original Vegeta tries to fire off a Galley Gun attack, but of course to no avail. He doesn't have any power to do so, and we get to see copy Vegeta fire off a Galley Gun, which was really cool because he was just demonstrating exactly what Vegeta can do, hence why he's called copy Vegeta. But nevertheless, copy Vegeta tries to absorb Trunks and the rest of the gang. That is until Jocko makes the save and everyone has an opportunity to get out of dodge, regrouping and trying to figure out what exactly was going on, in which of course we do have an explanation as to what the purple water is and what it does to the host. But even while we were getting the explanation, we get to see Copy Grill and Copy Vegeta just desperately searching for everyone else until they found him. Now, the one thing that I did not like about this episode was the fact that Gotenks was underutilized, and to see a fusion like him, even as a Super Saiyan 3, get beat down so easily, even if it was by a Copy Vegeta, just having the representation of a Super Saiyan 3 fusion now being depicted as such a weak character is kind of sad. But again, I will get more into that in my breakdown review. And I'm coming from Maine, guys, so I was watching this episode in the car. I actually watched this episode 3 times because I had a 9-hour drive, so I'm just sitting there, I'm like, what the hell's going on? But nevertheless, Goku shows up towards the end, and Goku actually mistakens, copy Vegeta for the real Vegeta, which was kind of funny because, like, the moment he saw two Vegetas, he was like, what's going on, guys? And that's when the original Vegeta had to explain exactly what was going on, and Goku just looked, really puzzled. He was like, what the hell? There's two Vegetas, and momentarily, the original Vegeta starting to fade away, in which, of course, again, I will explain more of that in the breakdown review. But what was really cool here was the fact that copy Vegeta, actually, he retains the memory of the original Vegeta, because there was a scene where he looked at Trunks, and just as he was gonna, or he wanted to absorb him, he kind of hesitated for a bit, and of course, when Goku showed up, that's when all hell broke loose, and that's when actually copy Vegeta killed Copy Grill off, because Copy Grill wanted things to be done his way, and copy Vegeta did not agree, and he ended up killing him off right before fighting Goku, which was really awesome, because even while squaring up against one another, Goku was actually quite, impressed as to what he was seeing, and even the original Vegeta was like, ha, you can't even defeat my own copy, like, what the hell's wrong with you, Goku? So both Vegeta and Goku aren't really at a 100% of their powers. They're not really maxed out. They're both weak. Obviously Vegeta having his powers taken, and Goku having to mess up his body using the Kaioken ×10 at the World Tournament. So it was a pretty wild moment, because in next week's episode, again, we're gonna have Goku versus copy Vegeta, in which case that'll be a full-blown showdown. But again, going back to Gotenks and copy Vegeta, there were certain things that just really rubbed me the wrong way, only because at one point in Dragon Ball Z, Gotenks was considered to be one of the most powerful characters ever, even squaring up against Super Buu, and having to see him just get completely bitched out here was just bad. So leave your thoughts down below, guys, as to what you thought about this episode. Did you guys like it? Did you guys hate it? And what are your overall thoughts on the whole copy system? And how strong is copy Vegeta going to be going up against Goku? Comment down below and let me know, guys. Again, this episode was good in a way. There were certain certain things that kind of bothered me. Like the first half was incredibly boring. I mean, although it got really interesting once Gotenks came around, the first half was really boring. But again, I mean, I like the whole presentation of copy-vegeta because he does retain the memory of original Vegeta, and of course, the moment Goku showed up, I mean, like, that's when his pride started kicking in, and he really wanted to fight Goku, like, desperately, even without absorbing his powers, as Grill ordered, because Grill wanted copy-vegeta to absorb his powers, but copy-vegeta did not want to do that, so that's why he killed Grill off. But what are your thoughts on this episode, guys? Did you guys like it? Did you guys hate it? Personally, for me, I just think that this episode could have been told in a much better way than how they depicted it in the episode itself. But leave your thoughts down below, guys. Once again, thank you all for watching. If you guys are Dragon Ball fans, don't forget to subscribe for more awesome content. Leave your thoughts down below. Tune in for the breakdown, and I'll be seeing you all down in the comments. Take it easy, guys. Peace.